What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, ladies? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm trying to say that without crying, of course. I'm sorry. There was a little gap there, but there's like a big change in my life today or this week. Um, my dad passed away um, on what day was it? Thursday. He passed away. It was September 11th. I'm sorry, all my days, I can't even believe it's Saturday already. But he was my mom passed away a year and a half ago, last 420, not this one, but the last one. Um, and he had been he started taking care of himself, now that my mom wasn't there to heckle him about it. So he was, I mean, I truly believe sometimes that when it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go. Like your body will know. He was taking care of himself. He didn't have a heart attack. He didn't have a stroke. His heart just stopped while he was driving home from picking up my little niece from school. Um, and um, he was late, first of all, to pick her up. So which was odd because he was always on time. That's one thing. He was always responsible, always on time. I'm telling you, this man is where I get my work ethic from. And that's where I got my love of baking is from my dad. Um, he taught me the fundamentals, okay? The way, I mean, he just taught me everything. He taught me more than my mom did. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm just going to put it out there. Sorry, Mom. He taught me way more than my mom did. So he was late picking up my niece, and um, when he did pick her up, he did look sick to the principal because I guess he had to go into the office to get her. I'm not 100% sure. He had to go into the office, I'm guessing, and the principal and the teacher noticed he looked different. He looked sick. And I'm sure he said he was fine. I'm sure they asked him and he said he was fine. So they noticed the way he's driving off is very, very slow. And they decide to follow him to make sure he's okay. And so they follow him, and luckily they were there. When he pulled into the front yard, he kind of like couldn't turn all the way into the driveway. So his truck just kind of hit this tree that we had planted years and years ago. It's like a baby tree, but it's still, enough to hold, to stop a car from going in the house. So it just kind of like just stopped there in front of the tree, and they saw it, so they were able to call 911. That was like the last of his strength, I think, that he had was to pull in and to drop off my niece. He made sure that she got home. So now I don't have a mom, and now I don't have a dad. It's kind of hard to explain. I mean, he's not my biological father. He's my stepfather. But my mom and my dad were together since I was 3 years old, and I didn't have an active biological father in my life. Um, Not until I think I was a teenager when he wanted to come around very briefly. I want to say one summer when I was 13, and then I didn't see him again. So um, this is my father. This is who I see as my father, even though it's not blood related. This is who I see as my dad. He's the one that taught me everything I know. He, he's the one that taught me, you know, to work my ass off if I want something, you know. So so it's kind of hard explaining to people. So I just say he's my dad. I don't. I just go without explaining, you know. um, but at the hospital, it was hard to explain because we're like everybody called him dad, even like his granddaughters, great granddaughters. Everybody calls him dad. I don't think anybody called him grandpa or anything like that. So it's kind of hard to explain because the lady was kind of like confused. She's like, okay, so your daughter and your granddaughter, like just to break it down to them. And we're like, yes, but no. I don't know. He just took care of all of us, okay? He took my mom in. My mom had three kids when they met, and I was very little. And then they had two children, which is my little brother and my little sister. My little brother, the one that passed away, this is his dad, his biological dad. My brother that passed away in 2020, this is his dad. So um, now he's back with his wifey and his son. Um, and it's just all of a sudden, like I said, he was taking care of himself, going to his doctor's appointment. My niece was taking him to his appointments, checking on him and everything. She did she did great, you know. She did great putting him back on track, but it just wasn't enough. You know, it was like I said, when it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go. They were able to resuscitate him in the truck, and they were able to resuscitate him, and they did fracture some bones, and he was basically just on. And I can't read anything if y'all are saying anything. I'm sorry. I'm driving to work. You know, I still have to work, um, despite what's going on. Um, so they were able to resuscitate him. They fractured some ribs, so he was still alive. They took him to the closest hospital, which is Santa Rosa, and on 151, and he was alive just by the ventilators and by the machines. And they did some scans on him, and he was out for too long. By the time they were able to resuscitate him, it had been 30 minutes, like about 30 minutes, maybe half an hour. And so they made the decision. I said I don't want to be in on the decision making. I trust you all with the decision making because I'm not gonna make the call. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I'm not gonna make the call. I can't. I won't. I will never. If it's up to me, he'd still be on the ventilators. And I know that's not what's best for him. Like the doctor explained to my little niece, because she was able to go in there to say her last goodbye by her. It was her choice. The one my niece that was in the passenger seat when his heart stopped, and the way he explained it to her made sense to me. Even though he was explaining it to a 9-year old, a 10-year old. I was like, okay, that makes sense to me. He said that um, he's here, like his body is here, but his soul is pretty much already in heaven. Like it's not him; it's just the shell of him, and he isn't here. And the machines are what's keeping him alive. You know, and he did have a DNR at his last hospital stay. I think a year ago or a year and a half ago, he was hospitalized. Or no, it was like 2 years ago. It was before my mom passed away, and so it would have been his wishes anyways. But I'm not gonna. I won't do it. I won't make those choices like that. So, so he's gone, and I don't know. This just seems different. I don't know. I don't know. Like it's just too close to my mom. I think is what it is. Um, it's just like every couple years that we lose somebody, and it's just And of course, I want to make sure I take care of myself. I want to be here for my son. My daughter's already an adult, and of course, I want to be here for her. But he's the one. He's little. He only has one parent, and that's me. Um, and I want to be sure I take care of myself so that I'm here for many, many years, and um, I don't pass away. And I do have high blood pressure. Would I need to stay on top of that? I have some other medical issues that I've been putting off. And I said when my mom passed away a year and a half ago, I was going to take care of it, and I haven't. So I need to stop. I just work entirely too much. I only have one day off a week. Um, so there's going to be a lot of downsizing in my life. I'm going to have to move. I'm going to have to, there's a lot of things I got to do. Okay. I could go over this list I have that I've already started. And yeah, so that's my announcement, is that my father has passed away.